Hello, everybody. This is the Anime Bro here, and welcome to another episode of Anime Discussion, a show where I have a guest on and we talk about a certain anime or manga that we enjoy. And today I have TensaShinra here, and we're both going to be talking about Bleach.
Yep. What's going on, everybody? TensaShinra here. Gonna be talking about Bleach today. My personal favorite anime slash manga of all time. So really glad to be here for like the second time.
Yeah. And if you want to go check out his channel, link will be in the description below. And yeah, let's get into this video. Alright, so let's just talk about some good things or I guess our history with Bleach, because Bleach is fairly old. It's been around since the early 2000s. Unlike
it's pretty old.
Yeah, unlike the other two of the big three, this one has kind of fallen out. Like, not many people kind of remember Bleach as much as like One Piece and Naruto. And in my opinion, it is kind of underrated because some good moments of Bleach do add up to what's it called,
Like
Naruto.
the other members of the big three.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. It's unfortunate like it's not as popular because I do think that's a really good anime and just manga in general. Like I feel like ever since it basically went on hiatus, a lot of there wasn't too much content. So I mean there was a game and everything like that, but we hadn't got that much like from the actual source material. So yeah, it's I'm good to see it. It's glad to see it making a little comeback recently.
Yeah. Same here too. Oh yeah, we're supposed to be talking about our history with Bleach. So I guess how did you
Yeah.
get into Bleach? Was it like one of the first ones you read or watched?
Uh, yeah. How I got into Bleach is actually it's actually one of the first anime manga I got into. I got into it a while after some of the first anime I got into, which is like Naruto and stuff like that.
Hmm.
But I got into it pretty much on a whim. I saw it on the TV and I was basically like, I questioned if I should watch it because I seen it a couple times like a while back on cable,
Hmm.
and then I just clicked on it and watched it, and it ended up being like my favorite anime. Like I really liked it. It was really dark. I hadn't seen that many dark anime up until then, but yeah, it was really good. I like the concept of soul reapers and the afterlife and everything that Bleach had to show. And then eventually when I finished the anime I got into the manga because the whole anime isn't finished,
Yeah.
and I really ended up liking that too. I know there were some problems with the manga, but yeah, I did end up liking it a
Hmm.
lot too. So
Yeah.
there's that.
Yeah. I it wasn't so with me. Bleach wasn't actually one of the first.
Yeah.
In fact, at the time when I was watching Bleach, I was already familiar with other sorts of anime, like the actual darker ones or the more mature ones. And it was out of the big three, it was the second one that I watched. I remember because I was going, so I just came back from a big move, and I was really bored one day. Oh, so we had Netflix, and Bleach was on Netflix. So I decided to give it a watch because I had nothing else to do. Every other show on Netflix I've either watched or wasn't really interested in looking into it. So I gave it a watch, and I was like, you know what, this is really interesting. Now, at the time, Netflix only had a Soul Society, so I couldn't really,
Oh.
I couldn't really actually finish it until I had to go. I had to go on another platform, which I wasn't on on like the TV I was on. So I had to, whenever I had like alone time or no one was using the TV, I would just go and put it on and
Yeah.
yeah, enjoy the rest of it and stuff.
Yeah. I had a similar experience kind of. The first time I watched it, well, aside from the first time I saw it on TV, the
Mm,
first time I watched it was actually on Netflix. That's where I saw it,
yeah.
and I kind of made the decision to watch it, and I ended up liking it, but I had to, similar to you, go to a different platform to finish watching the entire thing because there was only Soul Society, I think, either
Yeah.
that or just the beginning, the substitute arc on Netflix. So
Hmm.
I eventually went to like a completely different platform, and yeah, it was pretty similar to your situation. Um, yeah, that's like I had to go to a different platform and everything,
Yeah.
and uh, there wasn't. I think they added more episodes now, but back then there wasn't that many on Netflix.
Yeah, I think they added more recently, so it's
Yeah,
so I don't know how far it is. It could be like they're still probably missing a couple of arcs or whatnot,
yeah,
but yeah, yeah. So we both enjoy Bleach, so that's all we have to say
yeah.
from the beginning. So I guess now let's talk about some good points that we like about it. You want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. Well, like I said before, I kind of like how it's a very dark, more mature anime,
Mm,
compared to the other big three at least, and just shonen in general.
yeah,
I don't feel like there's that many dark and or dark shonen in that I've seen. At least from Bleach's time period. Like there was Death Note and sometimes like darker anime or darker shonen like that. But
yeah,
as far as Bleach goes, like a battle shonen, I haven't seen that many. And yeah, it was really interesting, a really interesting thing to see, and not just darker, but like it was a lot more deeper and a lot less like surface level. Like you had to dig deep to find out a lot of the themes and whatnot,
yeah,
and I really like that. I really like that about Bleach. It wasn't, just like your typical, power friendship, just shonen and everything. And there's like a whole bigger, like just a whole bigger grand theme and grand message of everything that doesn't just revolve around like the main character and what he's trying to do. It's a very unique take on the shonen demographic, I feel.
yeah, 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 yeah. I kind of do agree in some ways. Like the other two of the big three, they do get dark.
Hmm.
Like with One Piece, people, it talks about like some like everyone has like. Oh, I guess that's basically all in the big three. Everyone has a tragic backstory
Yeah,
in it, but I guess with Bleach, it kind of is pretty dark because like with Ichigo, he had this like normal life. Like he had a mother, he had a father, he had sisters. Well, he
hmm,
still has his father. His father's still alive. It's only his mother that died. But it I guess it is a little bit more mature because he eventually has to deal with like this power that he in the beginning find out that it's something he kind of doesn't like because it kind of killed his mom one day. Like he was looking at someone and then
yeah,
eventually she died, and that whole time he was like very like he was holding a grudge basically. Like, he didn't like this power because of what it did, and
yeah,
it was very very sad and stuff
yeah,
like that. The same,
yeah. I
you could say the same with
yeah, I,
Naruto, but not really. Kind
yeah, I
of.
agree with. Yeah, I agree with that. It's like there's some dark moments in Naruto and One Piece as well. But it's like with Bleach, I feel like they really use that as like a big like a huge base. Like it's based around soul reapers and death and everything, and like purifying souls and whatnot. But even though it's based off that, I feel like they do a good job of still having more lighter tone, lighter hearted moments. So it's just not always, just dark and gloomy and depressing.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I guess a thing I like about Bleach is that it actually kind of has a unique art style because I actually was watching like some facts about Bleach, and one of the things that I found out was that the mangaka made what he did was he made different art styles for each different arc,
Oh, okay.
and and it took me a while, but then when I looked at it, I was like, oh yeah, there's actually like you could tell what arc it is by its art style because of how different it is. Like
Yeah.
Soul Society is like very cartoony in a way. I think what's that? The second arc, I think.
Yeah, so there's Soul Society. Oh yeah, the Arankar arc.
Yeah, the Aranka arc.
Previous
It
one.
gets a little bit more, like a little bit more defined. It's not like best artwork ever, but
Yeah,
it's a little bit more redefined. It looks a little bit more realistic, and then when you get to like the final arc of it, it
yeah,
gets a little bit more better and stuff like that. And I kind of really did like how it was because it showed like the progression that the mangaka was making. I could be
yeah,
saying something completely wrong, but it was a really cool thing that like the art looked totally different from each arc because it was
yeah,
like because then it helped like distinguish what moment it was, like just based on the art style, like, oh yeah, that was from this arc or this was from that arc and all that stuff. And I really found that really interesting. I really did enjoy the artwork.
yeah. Same here. It's just funny you say that because I think I actually think I watched that video too. But um, yeah, I agree with that. Kubo, he's a really good artist.
Yeah,
I feel like I feel like that he really tries to develop with every arc, and he's really just trying to find a balance. I feel like he's gotten close to that with the more recent arcs.
yeah.
Um, yeah, he's super big on art. He actually pursued a career in fashion before he started doing manga, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, well,
So
that actually kind of
yeah,
that makes sense.
so he's yeah, he's kind of like he kind of has a little bit of experience definitely from that.
Yeah,
And like his art style and everything, it's really nice to see how he develops and how basically he uses his experiences and everything, because he also created another manga, Zombie Powder. He definitely, I'd say he improved from that.
mm,
And I feel like every experience he has, he just puts it together and tries to take the best of everything that he's drawn, and just take cues and notes on everything that's good with what he's writing or drawing at the time, rather,
yeah,
and just puts it together to make it look really good. I like how he tries to improve upon himself like that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I guess with a fashion thing, that understands like why like Bleach characters look so cool. Like I know the
Yeah.
like Goku has drip meme, but like many people don't know like it kind of started with Ichigo or like
Yeah.
Bleach because like yeah, Bleach characters they look pretty cool. Like even though some of them wear like some of them wear like basically the same thing like uh
Mhm.
black. Yeah, I don't know the right term. I might be be wrong,
Yeah.
but like black yukata, I think, or I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's black kimono or kimono or something
Oh,
like that.
kimono, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So and whatnot, but you know, sometimes it's like it's just really cool art. I really like it.
Yeah, the art is definitely one of my favorite parts about the series. It just kind of it I kind of wish that, because Kubo likes to draw them a lot, all the
Yeah,
characters with like different clothes and fashion and stuff. I wish he would actually use that in the show,
yeah,
but or in the manga. But it's cool that he doesn't. It's still nice to see them in like different art styles and just fashion and clothes and whatnot.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Now, before I upset my JoJo brothers, don't worry. Even though Bleach art is good, it is nothing compared to JoJo's. JoJo's is best. Don't worry.
Yeah, yeah, I can't argue with that. Definitely.
Yes, we are we we accept that JoJo's is better. That's all. But yeah, is there any other good moments you like? Anything that comes up to your mind?
um, good moments. I do like that. Well, yeah, I definitely like the character development. Personally, I feel like it's really good. I like how every character basically has their things that they have to overcome, um, to get better in their own stories. It's like even in the like minor characters, like I know some might be kind of forgettable, but even them, they like have pretty good backstories and whatnot. Like I love like there's a lot of characters I can name, like Byakuya's backstory,
Yeah,
Renji and Rukia's, Ichigo's.
yeah,
Like there's a lot of good backstories, but they all have like pretty good progression and development for characters, and I really do like that as well. Like
yeah,
just the characters.
yeah. I agree with you. I think one thing that Bleach did pretty well was that like it made me care for like not only just like the good guys but also like the bad guys as well. Like hearing their
Yeah.
backstories, it's like wow, this is actually pretty sad. Like I think there's probably a reason why people don't like the what's it called the man, I keep forgetting these arcs names. It's the second one.
uh,
Uh,
yeah. Wait, the second one. Let me see. The not the Soul Society
no,
one,
not the
right?
Soul Society one. So after Soul Society,
The
Aizen, the one,
the Aranka arc.
yeah, Ronka arc. Yeah, when you learn about all these
Yeah.
backstories, it's like, holy crap, this is actually pretty sad. And it's like this battle's like, yeah, the good guy's winning, and then at the end, it's like, wow, this is actually pretty sad. I,
Yeah.
I don't want it and stuff.
Yeah, that's the one thing. When they built up the characters, it was really sad when you see anything bad happen to them. But that's the thing about the upcoming anime arc, the war arc.
Yeah,
It really I wasn't prepared for that because the entirety of Bleach, like it's really dark, but they don't really kill off people that much. But
yeah,
when I started seeing people get like killed off, like and well, spoiler I guess, but
yeah,
kind of warning, but people die in this last arc, and it's like, man, I was not expecting that at all, and it
yeah,
really makes you
yeah,
think.
yeah.
It really makes you think.
When I was reading that, man, I was like, holy crap, there's actually people dying. Like,
Yeah,
you don't see this in shonen. People live.
yeah. Literally, they're supposed to survive with the power of friendship. It's like,
Yeah,
wow, they just survived like for the whole series, and now this war arc really just they're dropping like flies. It's crazy.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I, yeah, I do agree. Like, character development is made possible, but I think what's also cool is that like, and how I think how they use it really well is like with a certain death. I won't say the name, but when you learn that he was a villain, this whole well, not that he was a villain. Like honestly, when you looked at him, I don't know
Oh
if
yeah,
when you looked at him, you were like, okay, yeah, this guy's a villain. Like he looks like a villain. He's all that. And then when you learn like his backstory, and it turns out like he wasn't a villain. He was against the villain the whole time, and you die,
hmm,
and it's like, holy crap, this is so sad. And he did it for like for somebody he
yeah,
cared for so much, and it got even sadder because it was like he risked his life, and what
yeah,
sucked was he failed. That was what hit hard the most was he failed.
yeah. Yeah, it sucks, bro. I'm honestly thinking about it. I really can't wait for that anime to come back. There's so many sad stories, especially that one. That one really hit me, and like, and then the whole like at the end of that arc, like Ichigo's like self acceptance. It was really good.
Yeah,
That last
yeah,
arc.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, I guess that's enough talking about good stuff. Even though we
Yeah.
believe that what Bleach is underrated, it does have some flaws. Even the big three,
Hmm.
even though they are like god tier to everybody's, like, well, everyone who grew up in the early 2000s, every show has their downsides. And
Yeah.
I guess again, do you want to start some downsides you didn't like about Bleach?
Yeah. Yeah. I'll start with some downsides. For one, I think well, I did say that it was a good point that this kind of like not so surface level, and you kind of have to dig around. I also do think that that can be a bad thing because not too many people are like, it's as a shonen, not too many people are used to doing that.
Yeah,
And basically it kind of assumes that the reader or watcher is uh like they're they have their mind on while they're watching or reading it, and they're
yeah,
just digging deep and looking for every little thing.
yeah,
And that's usually like not going to be the case, especially in something like shonen where it's very simple and they don't really try to make anything complex and
yeah,
stuff like that. I think that that's a really bad side to it.
yeah, yeah. I kind of do agree. But in a sense that like I think it's is kind of simplified because each main arc is basically about like a certain like like group in this world. So like the first arc of Soul Society was basically like Soul Reapers. You got to learn what they
Yeah.
did, what was important to them. The second one, you got to learn about the Espada, the somewhat soul reapers of the. They're basically like
Like the opposite.
they're basically
pretty
like
much.
the opposite. They're like corrupted souls with soul reaper powers, and you learned about like, hey, they're human too. So not all of them are bad and stuff like that. And you also
Yeah.
learn about all their backstories and whatnot. And then the next one, Fullbringer, which many people didn't like. You can see why, but
Hmm.
it's not that bad in my opinion. You learn about the Fullbringers and what they're due, but honestly, it's not really as much. And then the last arc, which people are very hyped up to see, which I'm also one of them because I was expecting it in 2021. We didn't get it. I'm upset, but you know, we still got this year. And you learn about the Quincy's, which were basically the human side, what the humans were doing and stuff like that, and stuff.
Hmm.
And I do like that concept, but the thing about it is like, I think the only one that did it well was the Soul Society. Um,
Yeah.
even though I can't wait to look forward to the next arc. I don't think they did much on building on the Quincy's and whatnot. They just built up like this war that had been going on for so long. But even then, they don't talk
Yeah.
about the war. Even with the Espada, they don't really talk about like much about like their origins. They're like, oh, we have Soul Reaper powers, and
Yeah.
that's basically all we do. And then even Fullbringer, we don't even know the origins of like how that came to be. Like, where did
Yeah.
Fullbringing? Where did the Fullbringers come from? Because this is from like humans and stuff, so it's like, who came up with Fullbringer to begin with? Was it this guy or was it someone else? You know?
Yeah, that's definitely another thing I agree with. It's like they could definitely do a way better job at basically explaining the origins of the backstories. Like you look at like for example how they did the what was it? Like basically everybody that got turned into a hollow, we got
Yeah,
to see their whole backstory and everything. We got to
yeah,
see like how Aizen turned them into hollows and everything.
yeah,
But as far as like the Fullbringers go, we don't know how they met. We don't know like their whole backstory. We know that they were or their mothers were attacked by hollows like during pregnancy or something like that,
mm,
but we don't know much about them. We didn't get that much of a flashback for the Espada either. It was really just like we know that they were a Rancor before, just roaming around, or not a Rancor, Vasto Lorde, just roaming around Hueco Mundo, but
yeah,
we don't know. Like we didn't see the actual story or anything. Like I'm sure there's a like somewhere explaining it or everything, but they really didn't do that well of a job, like or showing backstories and stuff like that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, the thing about it, like, world building was definitely not something that could have been.
Yeah,
That wasn't. It wasn't its strong point in Bleach.
yeah. Yeah, I agree. I feel like world building, they could have done a lot more just with the world of the living, because it was mostly just centralized in like Karakura town, and just that's basically where everything went down.
Yeah,
Like we didn't see like other like countries or places within the world, and that's not a bad thing, I guess,
yeah.
but I would like to see more,
Hmm.
especially like knowing that, or I'm pretty sure that they said that the Soul Society and Hueco Mundo, they're kind of like reflections of the world of the living.
Yeah,
So both of those places could have had way more locations as well. And so
yeah,
it's just like, I feel like there's a lot of wasted potential. I mean, there is the what is it, like the one shot? I think it's called Burn the Witch, and it's like it's a like a different part of Bleach or something
mm,
like that. But even then, I feel like as a one shot, it doesn't really work to expand the world of Bleach that much.
yeah,
I feel like they could have done it within the show.
yeah,
But that's definitely another flaw, the world building, I'd say.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And also, I guess another thing I didn't like was there was only one good villain in Bleach, and well, in my opinion, there was only one good villain, and I gotta agree. I gotta say this. Aizen was the only person I actually was like, "Holy crap, this guy is actually threatening." Because
Yeah.
even though in the million year war, million year blood
Yeah.
arc, the the main guy doesn't really seem threatening because he didn't really have a build up. He was like, "Oh, I'm just here. I destroy these people's
Yeah,
lives. There you go." And then even though there's like a legend behind it, it's like there was only this one arc where we learned about it. While Aizen was basically built up from like after Soul Society. Like we get a big
yeah,
plot twist. Like this nice Aizen guy, yeah, turns out he's a villain, and then it's like holy
yeah,
crap, and stuff. And it's not like a sympathy thing, like oh my goodness, why is he a villain? Why is he doing this? It was like, okay, this guy needs to die, and like, yeah, he needs to die,
Mhm.
and it's just like the build up to him was great, and it was the kind of the only redeeming factor of the like Weko Mundo arc, even though there was a lot of like uh, even though we got lots of backstory with all the other
Yeah,
characters, he was the only one that really was like that we need to stop this guy, and he was actually one thing I gotta say that very rarely happens in anime. He almost succeeded. Like he was so
yeah,
close to actually winning, but
yeah. He was close.
you know, plot armor exists, and so that couldn't
Yeah,
happen.
yeah. I definitely agree with that. He's a very cool villain. I feel like in all of Bleach, he's definitely the best villain, especially with like the what he does in the war arc and his position in the war arc.
Yeah,
Is like very like even till the last arc, he stays relevant. Like since the beginning, like he was like the whole betrayal thing. It was he's a really good villain. It was really cool. But
yeah.
um as far as like the other guy, I forgot his name, Yuha Bak, as far as he goes, or whatever his name is, however you pronounce it,
Mm,
I kind of agree, kind of disagree.
mm,
The reason is because like I see him, and there was like, I don't know if you remember, but there was like foreshadowing like to him being a villain
mm,
in the beginning. But even then, I don't feel like it works as well as Aizen, because with Aizen, we actually got episodes and just chapters about him, or he died, and then we realized that he faked his death and then betrayed them and everything.
yeah,
Like with the other villain, it's literally just foreshadowing,
yeah,
and we don't really get, like you said, that much. We know that it's like in the past, and he had like conflicts with the Soul Society.
yeah,
Aside from that, we don't really know too much about him as a villain. So he did get, like a little bit of foreshadowing, but
yeah,
I don't feel like that's enough to build up the character completely. Same for his backstory, but I definitely agree that Aizen is the best out of everybody.
yeah. And I guess another thing I did like about it is like how he's introduced, because I knew Aizen was a villain because, if you've been on the internet, like big three spoilers are like the one thing you know. So many
Yeah.
deaths that happen, many betrayals. But when Aizen was a villain, I didn't know this was a thing, and I was like, oh, this guy is a villain. Okay, I know who he is. So when I heard Aizen, I was like, oh, I bet he's this guy who everyone doesn't like. But how he was introduced, it
Yeah.
was like he was this nice guy. Like
Yeah,
honestly, if you
exactly.
needed like to talk to someone, you talk to Aizen. That's what it seemed like. So I was like, how did this guy become
Mhm.
a villain? Like it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty like that. I was the same way. Like I knew about Aizen, but the way he was introduced and just his character, it was enough to make me forget that he was even a villain, or someone that people disliked to begin with.
Yeah,
It was very off-putting when I saw that he was actually a villain. I really do like that, but we're not talking about the things we like.
yeah,
But yeah, Aizen, I just like him as a villain, but he really is like one of the, like, he's in a tier of his own pretty much. I don't feel like Benny can come close to him, unfortunately, in
yeah,
Bleach.
yeah, yeah. I honestly don't have anything else to say. Honestly, uh,
Yeah.
I guess hey, you got nothing else to say? No other bad things to say, or
Bad things. I'm trying to think. I'm not sure if I can think of that many. I'll definitely say with the anime specifically,
oh yeah,
I'm pretty sure
filler,
everybody
filler.
can agree that it's filler. It's terrible, man. It's like I feel like there are a couple good filler. You can disagree with me on this, but
Mm,
I like the Zanpakuto arc a little bit. That one was just okay. I like the what was it? There was another one. It was the one with really good animation. I forgot what it was. The Mod Soul arc, I think.
Mm,
That one was really good. Everything else was just I didn't like it.
yeah.
I didn't like the Bound arc was terrible. You can ask any Bleach fan and they'll agree that the Bound arc is the worst arc in the anime. It's absolutely abysmal. And there are a couple others, but yeah, for the most part, the filler is just it's bad. It's kind of like Naruto, really.
Yeah.
One Piece is the only one out of the big three that doesn't really have that many fillers, surprisingly, and it's 1,000 episodes.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. It's insane. Well, I think it's because its filler is in the canon episodes. Like they just add a whole bunch of stuff that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah. Okay, I guess that's it. Honestly, we there's our discussion on Bleach. All right.
Nice.
I guess as a final question, because this is the end of the video, would you recommend people get into Bleach?
Yeah, I would definitely recommend for people to get into Bleach. I definitely wouldn't say recommend it to anybody for specific reasons. For one, if you're not into like longer anime or manga, that's definitely a big reason
Yeah.
that you might not want to get into it. Also, like I said, it's a little dark, so it can get pretty dark sometimes. So if you're not a big fan of, the less lighthearted stuff, then it might not be for you. But
Mm.
it's a really good anime, and if you can get through all 300 episodes and what like 500, I don't even know how many chapters there are, but
Yeah.
all those chapters, then I definitely think that you'll like it if you get into it, and I definitely would recommend it to you,
Yeah.
especially supernatural anime, if you like those kinds.
Yeah. I would say honestly, like even though I say Bleach is underrated, to be honest, it is not really like it's underrated in the sense that people really shouldn't forget it, but it's not underrated in the sense that you don't really need to watch it. Compared to other shows that have released now, Bleach is kind of one where it is like even though it is a bit dark, it's a shonen, so most of the
Yeah.
time like plot armor and stuff like that, or like power of friendship. There are some moments where power of friendship is like there,
Yeah,
even though it's
yeah, I
not,
definitely agree.
even though it's not like as much, but it is there. So if you're not a big fan of shonen, kind of miss this one. You can miss this one because it is still a shonen at the end of the day, even though it's part of the big three. You know, even nowadays, I would say some of the big three kind of are a bit outdated and
Yeah,
stuff like that. So you can miss this
yeah,
one, honestly. I couldn't care less. If you don't like it, that's fine. You know, some people don't like it. If you like it, that's great. You can talk to us about it because we really like it. But you can,
I f- yeah, I feel like there are a lot of newer anime that kind of take the same formula of Bleach and just make it way better and refine it. But yeah, if there's more, similar to it that are even better if you want to go check them out. But
yep.
yeah, I agree. Bleach, it's a either way kind of thing. You can watch it or go without watching it.
Yep. And yeah, I guess that's the end of the video. Thank you so much, Tensa. Thanks for coming.
No problem. No problem. I really enjoyed being on here for the second time. I love this anime Bleach, and I think it's worth a watch. So I definitely would enjoy being on here and talking about it.
Yeah. I would say, I guess, any final words before we actually officially end this?
The final words. Let's see. Well, not much I can think of, but well, read and watch Bleach, I guess, and yeah, subscribe to the Anime Bro. Also, check out the podcast that's coming. Recently, I guess you could say, between me, Anime Bro, and our buddy 20 Odd Lion.
Yeah.
It's going to be coming out soon, so that's gonna be there if you guys want to see more of us, I guess. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Well, at the time of making this video, it is about to come out, but I think by the time I release this, it's probably already out. You should go ahead and check it. It's really good. I haven't seen the first episode, but it's really good. You should check it out. That's all we have to say. And also subscribe to that. Let's subscribe to that. We really enjoy talking. We enjoy talking about anime and stuff. And yeah, I guess that's the end. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for watching to the very end. If we have convinced you to watch Bleach, go watch it. If you still aren't sure, I don't know, just do whatever. But what's really important is you like and subscribe in this video to me and TensaShinra. He really is a awesome guy. Check out his channel. Like I said, link would be in the description below. And yeah, see you guys later. Peace.